Now, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Business Growth Club. This is your weekly edition, and in this week's edition, we're going to look at going online, online marketing, and finding the best online strategy for your business. Now, as you know, we've been taking a lot of time in the Business Growth Club looking at pricing, and we have the pricing series. Now, we're halfway through the pricing series. You've had a video on it, and you've had a DVD and a post about it, and there's another couple of videos to go. However, I want to interrupt those just to give you something a little bit different so I don't keep talking about pricing, so we can keep it fresh and keep it lively. And this week, and it's quite ambitious for a 20 or 30 minute video, I'm going to tackle the number one question I get asked about online marketing. People say to me, I know the internet is a brilliant business opportunity, and I know there's Facebook and Twitter and websites and all of this, and I know it's probably going to be great for my business, but how do I know which one to use? Because I'm busy, and it's just me or me and a few people in the business, and I've not got the biggest budget. I don't really know what to do. So they appreciate that online marketing will be very good for them, they just don't know where to start. Now, what I'm going to do very quickly is run through the top 15 online marketing strategies. I'm going to tell you what it is, how to use it, the best marketing strategy to use, the time it will take you, the money it will cost you, and if it's for you. If it's a service sector business, will it work? If it's a trade business, will it work? If it's a product business, if it's a retail business, I'll tell you whether this strategy is best. Now, obviously, it's going to be generalistic and it's going to be quite crude, and I'm going to be very opinionated, but I want to give you a kind of an expert's cut on online marketing. As you know, I do an awful lot of online marketing, and I know it can be really confusing. And I don't really want you to try and learn about the 15 best ways to do online marketing now, because it'll take you a year, and by the time you've learned it, it will have changed anyway. I want you to apply it in your business straight away. So if you want to, for this video, I advise you take a piece of paper and write down one or two strategies that you could do for your business. I'll give you 15, just pick the best one or two. You can pick more if you want to, obviously, but just pick the best couple based on what I say. So hopefully it'll give you a really quick overview of online marketing and it will solve that question. There's so many online marketing strategies, which one will be best for my business? Now, before we go any further, I want to give you a cautionary note. You'll hear a lot of utter garbage about online marketing. People saying it's the best business opportunity and you can run your business, when you're on the beach somewhere. That isn't really true. Online marketing is massively powerful, and if you're not using the internet to grow your business, you definitely can be, and we will show you how to do that. However, don't believe the hype that you can set up a website and it'll sell in your sleep and you'll become a multi-millionaire. That can happen, but you need to become very good at it. So what I'm going to give you today is a quick introduction, some stuff you can apply straight away that will give you some great new leads and some great new sales in your business. But just don't believe all of the hype around online marketing. It can become quite an overhyped subject. I'm going to give you a kind of a realistic, grounded version of online marketing. Okay, so for all 15, I'm going to show you a table like this one. And the questions are, what is it? What's it used for? What's the marketing strategy? What's the time involved? What's the cost involved? And is it for my type of business? Now, every single strategy we're going to look at here in the next 12 months in the Business Growth Club, we'll do one video just on this, and we might do several on some of them. So, websites here, I'm going to do several videos on making your website work. However, I don't want you to have to wait a full year of membership before you get to look at all of this stuff. Like so many things with a Business Growth Club, there's so many ideas I can give you, but it takes time to do all of that. So I want to give you a quick overview. And if I give you a strategy in a quick overview and you're not quite sure how to fully apply it, you can always ask me the questions. And I'd also ask you, if you want to at the end, email me, just click reply to the emails we send these videos with, and just let me know which of the online marketing strategies from this video you've decided to do. Now, what will probably happen is all of you might pick the same one or two, which means I can add those videos at the beginning, so we can cover those sooner rather than later. It might happen that it's a bit of a disparate spread, but I imagine most of you might pick the same couple, and then they can be my priority videos for the future. As always with a Business Growth Club, I've got a rough structure of what we're going to cover, but if there's stuff you need me to cover, then I will do. So every strategy I bring on the screen, you will have a full video on it in due course, but I want to give you a quick overview and answer that question. What is online marketing and what's the best one for me? Now, it seems appropriate to start with a website. You've probably all got a website. So what is it? It's an online shop window. It's used for brand positioning. That is, it gives you a shop window on the internet It's the same as a glossy brochure, if you will. It's a brochure on the internet. It's used for lead generation and online orders for some businesses, not for all businesses. So what's the marketing behind your website? Actually, it's brand positioning. It puts your brand on the internet and positions you as an organization. And the best marketing strategy is data capture powered by video. So you use brand building corporate website, spelling out what you do with the about us, the services, all of that sort of stuff, but you make sure it's driven by data capture with a powerful video. What's the time involved? Well, if you're going to do it yourself, we do actually have videos on how you can build your own great website for under £100, and that's not a con or anything. It's just a software you can use to do that. We covered that about 6 months ago in the Business Growth Club. If you've not got a recording of that because you've lost it or you're a new member, I can send you that recording, or we can maybe redo it again pretty soon. But you're probably going to use a web designer, and it will take them a couple of days to develop a website, but more importantly, it'll take you a few days to develop the content. So on the left-hand side on time, that's your initial investment. The right-hand side, after the backslash there, that will give you the time on an ongoing basis. And I think a website will take you 1 or 2 hours a week to keep maintaining it. I say that because you should be updating your website every week. You should be changing stuff on your website, changing your blogging or something like this, because that helps with your SEO and it helps to keep it fresh. Now, what costs are going to be involved? Very difficult this, but as I say, we do have a video on how you can make a great website that looks really professional for under £100. If you're going to work with a designer, I think for a reasonable business, you'd be paying up to £2,000. Any more than that's quite excessive these days. What business should have it? Well, actually, every business needs a website. Whether you trade, retail, service, or product, you should definitely have one. So I've started with websites because it's strategy number one. You've probably all got one, but I'd ask you, is it brand positioning driven by data capture and powered by video? If not, you should do that. So that's number one. Idea number two is a lead page. What is a lead page? You will have seen this in your welcome video. It's a one-page website, and it's used for capturing leads and capturing leads only. So if you have an offer, it might be a free report, a free video, a free consultation. It might be a discounted seasonal offer. It might be a buy one, get one free. It might be whatever it happens to be. You can set up a one-page website where the whole purpose is to capture leads. The marketing strategy behind that is to grow your mailing list for a niche. The time involved, it'll take you about 4 hours to write a lead page, and then it'll probably take you an hour every time you want to update it or do whatever else you want to do with it. So it doesn't take very long to set up a lead page. Now, you could learn how to do it yourself, or you could use a designer, and if you just want a lead page popping up on the internet and you're going to write the content, it'll be about £200. If you want data capture and a video and somebody to write it for you, then about £500 is about right. Now, what businesses would a lead page work best for? Well, any business that has an offer. And that tends to be product and service sector businesses. However, if you're in retail and trades and you've got an offer, and you're doing marketing and you've got an offer, and we know marketing will always be assisted with having an offer, then I would encourage you to use a lead page. But for most of the time, service sector and product type businesses tend to be the ones with big mailing lists and tend to do that sort of stuff. So that's a lead page. Strategy number 3 is pay-per-click. You might know this as Google AdWords. There is other pay-per-clicks, but I'm just going to focus on Google AdWords for now. That is when you pay for when somebody types in a search term. So you type in Solicitors London, and your company comes up with your advert. You've paid for that lead. It's used for niche traffic drivers. The campaigns are niche campaigns. If you know you want people to go onto your website for a certain phrase, then that's what it's all about. To set up a Google AdWords account and to start to play around with it and get good at it, it's probably going to take you about 4 hours. And ongoing basis, you're probably going to spend a couple of hours a month maintaining it and getting better at it. I would say you need to spend at least £100 a month on pay-per-click because it's a numbers game, and if you've got less than £100, it's probably not worth it. However, if you can identify search phrases that people are making on the internet and you know we're going to convert to sales, because there's a lot of search phrases that a lot of people type into the internet, but they don't actually buy from it. So there's a lot of companies out there that will say 25,000 people do this search phrase every month. However, they're not people who are going to buy. So you have to get a competitive search phrase. But if you can, and you do the keyword research and it all works, then this could be a very good strategy for you. So any business that can identify people who are searching for you on Google, absolutely use pay-per-click. Number 4 is SEO. What is it? Well, it's a dark art of optimization. I'd be here all day if I tell you all the tricks of the trade. But essentially, SEO is it's search engine optimization. It's making you be found on Google organically. You can pay to be the top of Google, or you can organically get on the first page of Google and be somebody there. It works in exactly the same way as pay-per-click. If you know there's a search phrase that people search for on the internet, then you need to run niche campaigns on SEO. For marketing strategy, I always advise for SEO is to do pay-per-click tests first. SEO will cost you at least £100 a month. In reality, it will probably cost you several hundred, up to £500 a month. That's a big investment, but it can be worth it for your business. However, search engine optimization takes a good length of time. So you need to get used to search engine optimization. You need to adjust to the search engines. You need to do a load of this dark art stuff on your website. So it might take you 3 to 6 months to get somewhere on Google. And that might cost you several hundred or several £1,000s. Only for you to find that the key terms, the keywords, the search terms that you've optimized your website for, people aren't making. Or the ones that people make but people don't buy off. Like I say, there are certain search phrases that people don't buy on. To give you an example of something I'm quite familiar with, if people type in accountants Newcastle, accountants Durham, those types of search phrases, which there's lots of, those people don't buy. They're price monkeys. They're looking for prices. They're searching for information. They're salespeople looking for all the accountants to try and sell them stuff. Whereas something like tax accountant or tax advisor is a much better search phrase. Now, you'll never know that until you do pay-per-click testing. I would always rather spend money on pay-per-click testing, a few £100s, and make sure the keyword works, and then I would then switch to organic SEO. I wouldn't want to spend 3 to 6 months and an awful lot of money only to optimize my website for a search phrase that people don't make. So SEO is a bit more advanced, and I would say start to look at pay-per-click first if you're interested in keyword searches, which can be revolutionary to your business, but make sure you test it first. But if it does work and you've got a niche offering, that can work for any business. Okay, remarketing. Remarketing is, and I'm going to put my head on the block here, is probably the biggest revolution in online marketing since pay-per-click, and pay-per-click is massive. And if you can get pay-per-click working successfully, it really can absolutely increase your business. It can skyrocket your business. Remarketing, and we're going to look at this in full detail in May once some testing I've been conducting is completed. But remarketing means if you're doing pay-per-click through Google, Google have loads of partner sites, and most of their partner sites are big websites such as YouTube and other major websites, all of the big websites out there, and they all carry adverts. So when you go onto YouTube, do you know that your videos actually get an advertisement played at the start sometimes? Well, that's because you have a certain target profile. Now, the videos you see are different to the ones I see. Now, remarketing allows everybody who's been onto your website to actually then see those videos from you. So if I've been onto your website, I then go onto one of Google's partner sites, one of which is YouTube, and I see an advertisement from you. Because it's via cookies, it's quite complicated how it works, but essentially the computer does all the clever stuff computers do, and it knows that you've been on my website. So because you visited my website, when you then go onto all of Google partner sites, you see targeted advertising. So when people visit your website, when then navigating around the internet, your advertisement will keep appearing, but only if they've been on your website. So you can say, I want to advertise on all of the major websites out there, but only for people who've been on my website, and you repeat the branding to them. It's obviously used for that remarketing. The strategy is remarketing, and as I've just said, I think this is one of the biggest developments in marketing there's ever been. This is going to be absolutely massive. It might not last forever, unfortunately. Like pay-per-click will last for a very long time because the technology people might stop the cookies and stop all of that stuff. But for now, it's looking very, very, very interesting actually. It will work for any business that's doing pay-per-click campaigns. So that's just another reason for you to get good at pay-per-click, because if you get good at pay-per-click, you can then do this remarketing, and the combined effect will be absolutely brilliant. Just contemplate this. Every visitor to your website, when they go onto all the other major websites out there, Every major website other than the BBC website, which can't carry advertisements, they will see your company advertisement. I think that's pretty powerful. It'll work for every business. So just another reason to do pay-per-click. Okay, blogging. A lot of people ask me, should you have a blog? A blog is basically it's an electronic web page on your website, and you post articles. And it's really, you can use it for lots of purposes, but I think it works best for establishing your expertise. Now, it's going to take you a couple of hours to set up a blog, then it's going to take you several hours a week to actually write a blog, respond to the comments on your blog, and then do article marketing, which is when you promote your blog around the internet. You can outsource that. You can outsource all of this stuff. But if you're to do it yourself, it'll take you a good couple of hours a week. However, the cost is free. It doesn't cost you any money to do this. Now, a lot of people say, should I have a blog? Now, if you want to write an article every single week, then have a blog on your website. Everybody should have one. But if you're not going to write an article every week, and I imagine most product businesses, most retail businesses, and most trade businesses aren't going to, because it's difficult if you're a plumber to keep writing articles every week. It's not impossible, but it's hard work. So for you, just forget a blog if you're not going to write something every week. However, I believe service sector businesses, so that's people selling professional services, solicitors, architects, training companies, HR companies, all of those types of people, people who sell time for money, you sell expertise. So I think if you're a service sector business, write an article every week and get blogging. If you're in the other businesses, unless you've got something intelligent to say about your industry every week, then I'd avoid a blog for now. I'm being very generalistic and very opinionated, but I just want to give you a crash course on online marketing. I'm going to be crude, but I'm going to actually give you the stuff that I think on the whole will work for your business. Idea number 7 is email marketing. Email marketing is about sending emails to opt-in list. It's used for building your brand with prospects, people who haven't bought yet, and existing customers to encourage upsell, cross-sell, and future sales. The strategy is pure brand building, but it's niche brand building. It's brand building with people you know who've either bought from you who are interested. It'll take you a couple of hours to set up an email marketing system. There's tons of them out there. And every week, I'd recommend you email people at least once a week. And it'll take you a couple of hours by the time you've written the email, you've spell checked it, you've put it in the software, and you've sent it. However, it'll only cost you about £10 for up to 500 subscribers. Go up to 5,000 subscribers like me, and you're still only paying about £50 a month. So it's cheaper than just about anything else. How much would sending 5,000 newsletters every month out cost me? It cost me a lot more than £50, wouldn't it? Email marketing will work for every single business. Whether you're a trade, retail, service, or product, you should be email marketing. You have to come up with a narrative and something good to say every week. However, we will cover that in a future video. It's nowhere near as difficult as you'll imagine. It's not like blogging every week. You can just send your blogs via emails and that works. But if you're a trade business and you say, yeah, I'm just a plumber, how can I blog something every single week? You don't need to. We just need to develop all of the benefits of your business, and that'll be about 10. And then we could introduce some seasonal offers. That'll be 20. And then we actually mix them up, so we're selling expertise and seasonal offers. And seasonal offers tend to last a month. So actually, all of a sudden, we add it all together, we've got 52 weeks worth of content. I'll show you how to do that in a future video. So even for a trade business or a retail business, you can actually capitalize on sending emails every single week to your customers and your prospect. It's a brilliant way of building your brand, and it costs just £10. So that's a great strategy for everybody. You probably know what Facebook is, but if you don't, it's a social networking site. It's used for two functions. The first one is to have a business page, a fan page. So your business, Joe Blogs Plumbers, Joe Blogs Builders, Joe Blogs Business Coach, is having a page on Facebook. So that's how that works. And people like it and comment on your wall and all of that sort of stuff. Now, how many businesses that will work for, I don't know. You might as well set one up for your business if you want to, but unless you're going to get a lot of people interacting with your business, and not many people do, then I would say avoid it. If you're a trade business and you post a lot of pictures about the work you're doing, or a service sector business and you do a lot of blogging and you've got a lot of friends and contacts and they're going to like it, then it will work for you. But for a lot of businesses, they set up a Facebook page and nobody ever posts on the wall and nobody ever likes it and nobody ever interacts with it. So unless it's going to be an interactive forum, I don't think it works so well, because it should be a shop window for your business like your website. But if you're confident that you can keep the content going, then use it. However, the real power of Facebook is in niche advertising. There is nothing like Facebook advertising for being absolutely razor sharp. People tell Facebook absolutely everything, and you can capitalize on that. And you can say, I want people who are, people who just women in a certain area who like a certain, I don't know, hockey or something like this, and you can target people like that. So if you've got a niche offering, it'll work for every business. I actually think it's more likely on niche offerings to work for product, service, and retail businesses than trade businesses. Having said that, trades could probably benefit most from having a page with lots of people liking it, because trades tend to do lots of jobs, so you can have lots of pictures and lots of customers recommending you. But Facebook isn't really about having just the pages; it is the advertising is the huge part of it. So that's an overview of Facebook. Twitter. Um, Twitter could just be the biggest waste of time ever in marketing. We still don't quite know. It's an online chatterbox. Basically, if you've not been on Twitter, you have a profile and you communicate messages in 140 characters or less, and you follow people whom you're interested in, and people follow you. It's used for brand building and relationship building. I personally believe the real benefit in marketing is to build relationships with people you already know. The way I use Twitter is to build relationships with people I already know, so customers and people in my network, and it just helps generate interesting conversations. It's also good for driving traffic to your blog or to your website. I only use Twitter to drive traffic to my blog, and I get about 60 clicks a month, which is not bad, but it's not that good a return on investment. So I use it more as a relationship building tool. So if you know lots of people and you want to build relationships with them, well, Twitter's just a way of building relationships like you would offline, because you can keep up with date with what everyone's doing and you can communicate with them. But Twitter could just be your biggest waste of time ever. The jury's still out on Twitter, and there's very few success stories with Twitter. Pay-per-click I've mentioned, and there are businesses which have become absolutely massive, everyday, totally normal businesses who become massive. The same with Facebook advertising, the same with blogging, the same with SEO. With Twitter, we're yet to see a business that's exploded. Yes, they may get a few sales because they build relationships with customers, and somebody you're following says, do you know a good solicitor? And they go, yes, I do, and they recommend you. But for the time it takes to do Twitter, I'm not so sure. The jury's still out. It'll only take you an hour to set up an account, but you're probably going to need to tweet several times a day. There are tools you can use to help you, but it's still going to take about 4 hours a week. It does cost you nothing, but it is 4 hours a week. I would say it's probably going to work best for retail businesses, simply because you might have a lot of customers and you can connect with people that way, or a lot of friends, and you can talk about retail news, because retail tends to be quite news friendly. And service sector businesses, because you tend to have a lot of networking type opportunities. But I would probably Twitter of this list of 20 is pretty low for me, and it definitely wouldn't be my first online marketing tactic. LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a funny one, really, because it's a little bit like a Facebook page. You can put one up there, and a few people might recommend you and like you, and it's probably not going to do any harm, and it's not going to take too much time. LinkedIn, if you don't know, is just basically every professional person has an online profile on there if they set one up. So it's like an online CV. You can say where you've worked, your skills, your education, and what you do. And then you connect with people, so you have contacts online. It's used for developing your profile. You can also use LinkedIn advertising, which works like Facebook advertising. So I won't repeat what I've said about Facebook advertising, but if you just want to market to solicitors, then obviously all those people who declare their profession as solicitors, you've got niche advertising there. Really, I think LinkedIn's there for credibility. If you're a professional person, and every business is, whether it's trade, retail, service, or product, you should maybe be on there just for credibility. It is free, unless you're advertising, which way you need to define a budget. But it's one of those ones, it's probably worth setting up a profile, and you can link the feeds from your website to it. For a service sector business, it probably works best, because service sector businesses tend to buy on qualifications and expertise more than any other business. But again, for me, LinkedIn's a bit like Twitter. It's not all that powerful. There are groups on there, and you can connect with local business groups and that sort of stuff, but it's probably not the top of the list of online marketing strategies. Okay, idea number 11 is YouTube. YouTube is very powerful, and it's also not going to take very much time. If you don't know, YouTube is a website, www.youtube.com, and there is, a trillion videos on there. anyone can upload a video. You can host videos for your own website. It's used, number one, to have a YouTube channel, so your business can have a YouTube channel, so you can put all your promotional videos on there. You can put your video testimonials on there. You can do any podcasting and that type of stuff on there. So you can have an online shop window. Again, it's a bit like the Facebook profile and this sort of stuff. You might as well set one up because people might find it. It won't take you very long. You might as well have it there. But what you can do, there's something coming in now which is called video search engine optimization. So it's like SEO for videos, and your videos can go viral. It's not that likely you will create a viral video that goes around the world, but you'd be surprised if you get together a really good video, how that can go around all of your friends, and they pass it on to all of your friends, or all of your customers, they pass it on to their customers, and it goes all around. Say if you're based in Manchester, it could go around the whole Manchester area very, very quickly, particularly if it's business to business. It can do it for domestics as well. Like I say, it's unlikely you're going to go around the globe, which is what true viral strategies is, but actually you'd be surprised how easy a good video is, because people forward videos on. It'll take you a couple of hours to produce a video. You should be doing videos anyway. We've covered that before. YouTube's free as well. It's probably best used for a service sector business and a product-based business. I only say that because service sector business has probably got more opportunities to produce training videos to demonstrate expertise, and product-type businesses can do demos, but it can work just as well for retail and trade. So that's YouTube. Very powerful if you're producing good videos. You might as well use it. Okay, idea number 12 is Google Places. Google Places is an online directory, and essentially people will Google your organization, and it's like a profile. So it's being found online. Its profile is for free. You can pay for an upgraded one, and you can start to do searching through it. But for every business, it's a bit like a Facebook page or something like this, or a LinkedIn profile. You might as well have it. They might already have a profile for you, in which case you can log in and update it and make sure it's accurate. If not, you can create your own. It's one of those ones. It won't be top of your list, but you might as well go and set up a profile. It'll take you an hour or so, and it won't cost you anything unless you pay for a premium profile. It'll work for every business, so it's one of those ones where you might as well have it for your online brand, but it's not going to, change your business overnight. Idea number 13 is Google Plus. Google Plus is a version of Facebook, really. It's an alternative, a rival to Facebook. It's a social networking site. It's for social interactions. See Facebook if you want to know what it does. Now, you'll find a lot of online marketers talking about Google Plus. However, I myself am not quite convinced yet. It's untested. It's still new. It is developing. It's quite interesting. More people are joining it all the time, but it's still nowhere near Facebook. Now, I will keep an eye on Google Plus for you, and if and when it becomes a major marketing strategy online, I'll let you know, and I'll tell you how to do it, and we'll do a video, and we'll show you exactly how to benefit from it. But for now, picking your low-hanging fruit, I would say let's park Google Plus. And a lot of people are talking about it in online marketing because they like to show they're ahead of the curve, and they like to talk about new and upcoming stuff. But for you now, if you're to pick just one or two ideas from this video, then I don't think that will be top of your list. Okay, idea number 14 is Yell.com. Yell.com, you all know the Yellow Pages, and obviously they still produce, albeit a shortened, smaller version of the Yellow Pages. You all know what the Yellow Pages are. Yell.com is the online version. Now, Yell.com is used for two functions. The first one is when people go to Yell.com and type in your company name, so Bob Smith Builders, because people want your phone number. I don't think that's very likely to happen. I think they're more likely to go to Google and type in your company number. Also, you could be on there for plumbers, and you can pay some money to have. You can't have a free profile, but they try and sell you a kind of better profile, a bit like pay-per-click style. So when people type in plumbers or builders or business coaches or whatever into Yell, then you come up. Now, there's a lot of research Yell tell you in terms of how many people are making searches, but I know very few businesses that are succeeding through this. My honest opinion is that it's search-related marketing. And why do people go to Yell.com? Why aren't we going to Google? Now, with any of these strategies, if you get good at pay-per-click, then I would start to look at other pay-per-click advertising, and Yell works in the same fashion. But if I was to pick for any one, I would say I'll go for the people going onto Google, not onto Yell.com. However, if you want to, especially if you're a national company, it can work quite well because they'll do some pay-per-click budgeted national campaigns. It doesn't quite work so well for local campaigns. It's going to take you a few hours to set up a profile and then maybe an hour a month to optimize it. As I say, you can have a free profile, which I guess you might as well have, but they'll try and sell you an upgraded version. But for me, I would say for now, Google, more people are on Google, more people are on Facebook. Yale.com's a bit of a, Yellow Pages are a dying art. It can still work, and for a trade business, I'd still recommend Yellow Pages, and we're going to cover Yellow Pages in future videos. But for now, I think Yale.com, I'd rather look at Google. Idea number 15 might just be the best idea. I've perhaps save the best till last. Online joint ventures. What is a joint venture? I don't know if you've heard of a joint venture or a strategic alliance, strategic partnership before. It's teaming up with partners. The definition is who out there has the same customers as you, the same profile of customers, the same target market, but sells a different product. A classic example could be an accountant and a bookkeeper. An accountant doesn't do bookkeeping, a bookkeeper does, and they team up together. Another example could be, say, a solicitor who doesn't do wills, but they have people who they know want wills, so they team up with a will writer. Something like that. There's literally zillions of different examples of how this can work. Now, joint ventures are incredibly powerful, and you can do them from email marketing or you can take them offline. It's up to you. It only works for niche marketing, but if you can identify that you want a certain type of customer, and you know someone out there has got customers like your customers, take the Business Growth Club. We could partner with somebody who is, say, a training company. We don't do training, but it's quite similar to training. We'll probably attract people who want to have a similar experience. So let's say we've got a customer list of X, a training company have got a customer list of a similar number, and we do what's known as an endorsed mailer. So we promote each other's events to each other's lists. What happens is you raise credibility because it's not like a cold mailing. You're saying, I know my customers are interested in this. Well, I know someone who'll do something that'll be brilliant for you. Online joint ventures like this, I only say online because it's easier to do it through emails and it's easier to find them online, but you can just as well do them offline. But they're incredibly powerful. It probably works better for service businesses and product businesses because they tend to have a more defined target market than perhaps retail and trade. Sometimes it's harder to define the people and who might have your customer list. But this can be incredibly powerful for any business. To find a partner takes some time, and you've got to find the right people, and you might need to find a couple of different partners before it really starts to work. It's free, of course, but you might want to offer commission. But most joint ventures I've ever done have just been, let's do an endorsed mailer to my list, and I'll do one to your list. We'll keep it friendly, and then, hey, we'll see what sells to each other's list, and we don't really need to worry about commission. But it's up to you how you run it. But online ventures, especially through email marketing, the cost isn't going to be there because it's email, so it's incredibly cost effective. And somebody else has paid to do all of the marketing to find like-minded customers, people who want to use your services, the exact target market you've got. And if you can do cross-endorsed mailers, it can be very, very powerful. Okay then, so that's a crash course in online marketing. Hopefully, I've shown you that online marketing, whilst it's never going to be a business from the beach, whilst you're on holiday and you can run your business 24 hours a day, you do know that it's incredibly powerful, and you know that it will work for every type of business. I try to say, I know that you know online marketing will work, but you don't know where to start. Hopefully, I've given you a very quick crash course into all the different strategies. I've given you a brief overview, and I've said the best types of marketing strategies and businesses. If you've got any questions, and I expect you will because I've really raced through it, but I just want to give you an overview because online marketing is so powerful. Any questions, you can always submit them. Just hit reply to the emails and we'll answer those. And of course, if you want to, if you've chosen a couple of strategies or more that you want to do on the basis of this video, let me know what they are. And then, of course, the most popular ones are the ones that I will cover in future videos. Because all of the ideas I've covered here, we're going to cover in the next year or so. However, if loads of you are going to do pay-per-click and you let me know, then I'll make sure that the video we do in a few weeks' time is pay-per-click. So I kind of prioritize it for you. It's good feedback for me, and it'll help you because you'll get a training video before you start investing your marketing budget. Okay then, so that's the end of today's recording. I hope you found this useful. Good luck with your online marketing. You'll hear from me again in a week's time. So until then, have a fantastic time in business, and goodbye for now.